everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Blue Savvy. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, and part of the reason was because I ran out of contacts for a while and I was only wearing my glasses, and then as soon as I got my contacts I got sick, and today is the first day in almost 2 weeks that I have been able to talk and so I'm recording this video now. And all of that aside, just as the video title states, we need to have a talk. This is going to be a more serious video than the more entertaining makeup and lifestyle type of videos that I usually will be putting up. This one, nonetheless, is still something I am extremely passionate about. Always have been, but especially in the past just couple of years, I've really become a lot more knowledgeable on the topic and a lot more aware of everything that's going on. And what I want to talk about is the environment and preservation of the environment. Now, I know that this is something that a lot of people talk about. There are a lot of activists and a lot of speakers who go out and they talk about this problem and a lot of other associated problems. And some people say, what's talking about it going to do? Well, talking about it spreads awareness. It helps to allow for people to know more about it who previously didn't realize it was much of a problem, or people who didn't know much about it to begin with. It really is so much worse than we think. There are areas in the world that are suffering more so than our own backyards, but our own homes are still suffering. They're suffering much more than they need to. I mean, you can Google just pictures of pollution where beaches are completely engulfed in plastic and glass and garbage. You can just look on the side of the highway while you're driving and you'll just see trash just blowing everywhere. And you'll think, well, there's people out there whose job it is to clean it up. Why aren't we cleaning up? That's the question I'd like to ask. When you're out walking somewhere and you see a plastic bottle, why don't you just pick it up and throw it away? First of all, that is the that is the first thing that we should be doing. Maybe you're not noticing all the trash that's there, but the first step is being aware that there is trash and taking the effort to pick it up and take it to a trash can. Or if there's not a trash can nearby, just pick it up and take it with you until you reach one. It's just about putting in the extra effort to just do the smallest thing to help. And the biggest problem that we're facing is refusal to do anything. You don't have to give up everything that you love. You don't have to give up everything in your life. You don't have to go out and live in the woods and hunt and fight to survive. We're not at that point anymore. That's hundreds of thousands of years ago. We don't do that anymore. All we have to do is take little steps in our everyday lives to make a change. For instance, small things that you can do every day that is definitely going to significantly help, especially if a lot of people start doing it, is, for one, when you're brushing your teeth, turn the faucet off. That little bit of water is going to make a big difference whenever it's a lot of people doing it. And another thing, if you cook at home and you preheat the oven, don't preheat it 15-20 minutes before you need to use it. Just go ahead and start preheating it while you're making your food, and then by the time that you're done, your oven should be hot enough to cook your food. You don't have to preheat it so far in advance. And another thing with the oven is whenever you're going to check on your food to make sure, like, to look at it and see how well it's done, just look through the little window in your oven. Most ovens have that little window, and you can just look through it and just check on your food. Turn the little light on and check on it. Whenever you open up the oven to check on it, the heat that comes out makes the oven slightly less hot, and therefore it takes more energy for the oven to heat up when you're doing that. Another thing that you can do is take shorter showers. You don't have to stand in there, like I get it, I totally get it. Standing in there and letting the hot water just run on your skin and just like contemplating life, like that's something that I really enjoy myself, but I'm trying to get away from that habit because I know that running a lot of water is not very good. Not only is it not good for my water bill, but it's also not good for the environment. And take fewer showers. I'm not saying to like shower once a week or anything like that. Like, definitely keep up your good hygiene, but just, you know, there are people who will take 3 showers a day, and that's completely not necessary. In any circumstance that I can think of, you don't need to take 3 showers every day. I don't even think I can think of a circumstance in which you need to take 3 showers any day, unless you were just getting that nasty. You don't have to. You can take 1 shower a day and be just fine. Maybe there's certain circumstances, maybe like you get really dirty and gross at your job, like you're out working in the field or something, and whenever you're done, you want to clean up before going to the gym. Okay, just get in the shower, wash off really fast. You're going to be going to the gym and sweating anyway. You don't have to smell super good to go to the gym. Just wash off really fast, get into your gym clothes, go. Then when you get back, you can take a full shower and really clean yourself. But again, keeping the shower time down is really going to help. You probably really don't need to shower more than 10 minutes at the most. It's those little things that are really going to help. And those are just little things that everyone does. Maybe not the cooking part, but using the water is certainly one. And turn off the lights. Turn off the lights when you leave a room. I used to be really bad about this as a kid. Turn the light off when you leave a room. It's just turn the light off. Just flip a switch. That's all you have to do. There's literally like no extra effort involved in turning off a light. And turning off the TV or a video game system when you're done with it. And again, going back to when you're going for a walk or you're at a grocery store or something and you're in the parking lot and you see someone's receipt come blowing in the wind toward you, or maybe it's not even blowing toward you, maybe you just see it, just go walk over there, grab it, and then take it up with you as you're going and throw it away. And lastly, on the smaller things that you can do is recycling. Most neighborhoods have a designated recycling bin. Most neighborhoods do have those. Use them. Look up where your local recycling center is and read up on what the acceptable items are, because every recycling center is different. Some will take certain things and some won't. So make sure that you're recycling objects that you can recycle with your local recycling center. If there are certain things that your recycling center won't take, you can look up recycling centers in your area that will take those things. And if not, I mean, yeah, you can throw those away, but it's much better to reduce the amount of trash that you're throwing away. paper and most plastics, cardboard, glass bottles, glass containers, most recycling centers will take those. In particular, I just recently started, because at my apartments we don't have recycling opportunities here, so I recently started taking everything that I could from our apartment that we would normally throw away, and I've been taking it to the recycling center that's in my town. But definitely do your research and find out what you should or shouldn't be recycling, because if you're putting things that can't be recycled, like a lot of places won't take plastic bags, like Walmart, Saks, and all of that. Other than recycling, when you're driving, like carpool. If you're going to be meeting up with friends, go pick a friend up if it's on the way, you know? That way you're not having two cars going to the same place. You're picking your friend up, because the emissions from your vehicle are definitely bad for the environment. My goodness. Whenever you're Ubering, there is an app that I cannot think of at the moment, but it is specifically for carpooling with an Uber. You know, your Uber comes and picks everyone up and everyone splits the pay for it. But of course, as always with Uber and any of those types of services, be careful. You know, the people who are getting picked up along with the person who's picking you up could be unsafe, so just always be careful with that. And doing your shopping. This is kind of moving more into the less, I guess you could consider it less easy stuff. However, it still is pretty simple and easy. When you're doing your shopping, do your best to get most of your groceries at a farmer's market or a local market, because, and whenever I say local market, I mean non-chain places. Places like Walmart, Kroger, all of that. Yeah, they have good deals, and yes, they have brands that you might like, but buying things from your local farmers, whether it's your vegetables or meats or whatever you're buying, you can get a lot of that from a local farmer's market. And the reason being that those local places will oftentimes not use a lot of the same chemicals or a lot of the same mass production that the bigger companies will use. And not only that, but they are grown locally. The products that you're buying are coming from right down the road. They're not coming from states or countries away. The more that we're buying from local places, not only is it helps with your local economy, but it's also going to help with the environment. Just little by little, it is going to help the more that people do it. And with online shopping, I'm a big online shopper. I get it, you know. If you're going to do online shopping, first of all, try to limit your online shopping as much as possible, just for the sake of the shipping and the emissions. Same concept as the last thing that I talked about. Try your best to buy whatever, if you need more than one thing, try to buy them from the same place at the same time, if you can. Just simply because it's going to come in less shipments, and it's going to be coming from the same place. So it'll all be in one shipment coming to you, more than likely. Lastly, the last group of things that I would like to talk about. Things that the more financially secure people can do. It's not something that everyone can do, but it's certainly something that people who are in a better financial state can do. Donate, donate, donate. Donate your money. You don't have to donate a lot of money. Of course, it's always appreciated if you do, but donate your money toward research and toward environmental organizations. Like One Tree Planted, the Arbor Day Foundation, those are going to go toward planting trees and helping with our ecosystems. Donate towards charities that help clean up beaches and help clean up trash. Of course, as always, do your research, because there can always be organizations that try to sound like they're good and try to sound like what their mission is a good thing, but they're not actually putting the money towards what they're saying they are, or they're just a little sketchy. So do your research before putting your money into anything. But that is a really important thing. Invest your money in these companies and donate toward these organizations, because it is extremely important. The research foundations, they're doing research toward trying to create things that have less chemicals in them, trying to create better energy sources, trying to create things that can help us, can help the environment be better. And the last thing that I want to talk about is switching your energy source. Most of our energy is run off of natural gas. Natural gas is, of course, very high in emissions. It's not a renewable resource. Switching to wind power, nuclear power, or solar power, those are gonna be the best things that you can change over to. And hydroelectricity. Hydroelectricity is a good one too. Nuclear, I know a lot of people are kind of scared of nuclear. You know, when things go bad with nuclear, things go bad. And that is, of course, something to be afraid of. You know, I understand being afraid of it. However, nuclear energy is extremely clean, and it's actually a lot safer than people realize. The probability that a nuclear reactor or a nuclear plant something is going to go wrong is very low. If you live in an area where nuclear plants are, absolutely change over to that, because, I mean, the nuclear plant's already there. Go ahead and use the energy instead of using natural gas. And lastly, solar. Solar is extremely good, and it's cheap. It can use the smallest amount of sun energy to power your home. It doesn't, like, even on cloudy days, solar panels are still able to get the energy that they need to give your home energy. Putting in solar panels on your home, they can go on your roof, or you can have them in your yard and have them attached through cables. It is really probably the best energy source that you can have. One more thing that's actually, I know it's controversial. I get it. I'm definitely one of the people who's like, I'm not gonna do this. But you can go vegan or be a vegetarian. The amount of CO2 that is produced from raising cattle, raising pigs, all of that for meat is absolutely ridiculous. Whenever you look up the numbers, you're going to be extremely surprised. Going vegan, or even don't go vegan or vegetarian, just eat less of it. For the most part, I mean, I just eat chicken and turkey and salmon. That's really the most meat that I eat, even though I know salmon is considered fish and not meat, but you get where I'm coming from. I try not to eat a whole lot of that, even still, I try to eat mostly vegetables and fruits, because not only is it good for you, the amount of CO2 and the amount of water that it takes to raise animals, which most people are eating a lot of beef and a lot of pork and a lot of chicken, a lot of turkey, a lot of just different meats, and it's taking so much to raise them, and it's producing so many emissions that just reducing the amount that we intake on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, just reducing it to maybe eating a hamburger. If you eat a hamburger like every week, maybe eat one once a month instead of eating one every week. Or if you eat one once a month, maybe every other month, maybe every 3 months. It is going to, whenever a large population of people is going to start doing that, it is going to reduce the amount of emissions and the amount of energy that it's taking to raise all of these animals that we're eating by so much. The numbers will drop drastically whenever people actually start doing this. Those are kind of all of the things that I wanted to talk about. There's probably a lot more that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't write a script for this, so I was just kind of pulling things from my mind and trying to remember everything that I thought about previously. Again, you don't have to do all of these things. You don't have to quit doing any of these things. You just need to reduce it and start putting in at least a little bit of effort to clean up and to help the planet. The planet is dying. All of the things that our actions previously have led up to. I would prefer that my children's generation and their children's generation and all of the generations after us to be able to live a happy and a healthy life on a planet that is happy and healthy. We are destroying the planet. And that we're destroying it with little small habits that we each have ingrained in us because of the society that we live in. If we can just do the smallest things in our daily lives, it will change everything. The more people that are aware of these problems and that are aware of the ways that we can change, the better it's going to turn out. We will never be able to erase everything that we have done from the Industrial Revolution all the way to now, but we can still turn things around for the better. We have conservationists and environmentalists and researchers who are out there working their butts off to put everything that they have into making our planet better. But it is up to us to make the change so that all of their hard work that they have done up to now can pay off. And we, along with everyone who comes after us, can live on a planet that is not dying. Thank you, everyone, for watching this. And I will see you guys in the next video.